time to kick and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Hello everyone, it's Freddie Mac, KD5 FMU, your ham radio crusader. Thought I'd jump in and show everybody a new radio I got in today. It's actually the second one I've ever bought. Another Chinese radio. Yeah, they're affordable. This is the TYT TH-9000D mobile radio that I use here at my home to build a AllStar node, what I like to call a local area AllStar node. I also have a Sherry Pi Hat U that runs off of a Raspberry Pi 4, but it has a limited range. Works great around the house and out in the yard, but I want to be able to use it around town, so I built a local area AllStar node using a 50 watt mobile, 40 watt mobile. But I run it on about 10 watts with a DMK Engineering URIxB sound fob. They're a little pricey, but these things are dependable. They work every time. And I thought I'd show everybody the TYT as I take it out of the box and show you the parts that I use to hook it up to AllStar. It's basically a cloned Alinco, in this case a DR435. It's a 400 megahertz version. So let's jump into it and take a look. This is the TYT TH-9000D. As you can see by the screen, it looks almost identical to the Alinco. And to me, it sounds identical to the Alinco. I want to say about 130 bucks. No, see, this one was about 140 bucks off of Amazon. I think the first one I ordered was from China Direct. I can't remember. It might have been eBay. Right out of the box, got the manual right on top. And TYT offers a decent manual, but this radio is a little difficult to program. But luckily, when you're using it for AllStar, you only have to program in one channel, so that's not a big deal. You got the verification, TYT Electronics Company Limited, Company Limited verification. It's probably bogus, I don't know. Works for me. Got the microphone, which to me also looks like the Alinco. It's not too bad in the hands. Got some nice keys on it. If you can see that all right or not. It's got the keypad lamp on and off, the lock on and off switch right there, full keypad with the function button, and a mic hanger instead of the mic clip like some do. It's kind of a trademark to Alinco styling. RJ45 connector for the radio. Comes with standard fuses and screws for mounting and the standard T connector for power. Radio, like I said, to me, looks exactly, other than the face is not exactly the same. I mean, that's obvious. But the bottom side looks exactly like the Alinco. And look right here on the back. Where the DB9 is on the Alinco, there's this nice little sticker that says the letter D. And trust me, that'll peel right off and there'll be a hole there for the DB9. As a matter of fact, let's just peel it off right now because I'm going to be taking it off here in a little bit anyway. It's already starting to peel off. Get my knife under there. That's how easy it is, right there. And if you can't already tell, light's not great in here. Yeah, a nice DB9 sized hole. Yeah, with 2 screw holes. Now, got your standard Alinco cloned mounting bracket and programming cable and software. Programming cable goes through the data port in the front of the radio. Now the other one I have identical to this is the 400 megahertz version. Solid as a rock. But I have to mount a fan right on the top of it. I don't have one of them handy, but I will here in a second. And I just zip tie it right here on the top. It keeps all these cooling fins cooled off. Works like a charm. Now, with all that said, you get yourself on eBay and do this. And get yourself on over to eBay and look up the seller Radio Dan-W7RF. What Radio Dan has there are these nifty little items called the TYT TH-9000D repeater cables. You can make a GMRS or ham repeater with this DB9 output. Over 150 sold to viewers like you. What he does, he sells these by the pair because he figures you're going to make take 2 radios and make a repeater, which I am not. I just wanted to be able to use the radio for an AllStar node. But I still needed these little things, and it adds this little DB9 right to your TH-9000D, which I'm fixing to show you. But you can make these yourself if you want, or you can go here and get you a pair for 40 bucks and save yourself the arthritic time. It's up to you. A lot of people like to build their own projects, and don't get me wrong, I do too. But my arthritis limits me on what I'm willing to put up with. Now you'll notice here right behind the DB9 inside the radio is a nice little wall. The newer models have a cutout right in the center, right there if you can see it. This one does not. That's why the wires are routed around and look like they're in all turmoil and all in stress right there. But as you'll see here in a minute, mine are not, or they won't be. Nonetheless, it's a really good quality item Radio Dan W7RF makes. Look him up on QRZ. His information there is good. He's got other items here on his eBay store. He makes the ID-O-Matic GMRS / ham repeater controller. And I've heard nothing but good things about this. I haven't tried it myself, but I'm thinking I'm probably going to in the near future. I've been wanting to make a GMRS repeater, and we'll just see what happens. Okay. As you can see, I've notched out one side of the mounting hole on the DB9. And now, I'm going to take the little Phillips screwdriver. Oops. I forgot. It's not exactly like the Alinco. It uses a torque screw on the bottom side of the radio to get the cover off. Since I'm arthritic, I gotta have help getting these little boogers open. I mean, it's a perfect fit. There is no room for error. TYT is not a horrible brand. I always looked at it as a knockoff of the Titera, which I have one. Titera VHF DMR. And then I noticed the QYT, which looks a lot like a TYT in lettering. And I'm like, okay, Is the TYT a knockoff? I'm sorry, is the QYT a knockoff of the TYT? Which is a knockoff of the Titera? I don't know. They share a lot in China. Okay. So right here is the connector where the radio, I'm sorry, the accessory cable that I ordered from W7RF is at. It just plugs in right there. But first, what I'd like to do is mount the DB9. And the DB9 comes with 2 screws that allegedly fit those holes. Here's the key to this little adventure right here. When you're putting these mounting screws into the DB9, don't sink them all the way down. Put one in, just get it started, put the other one in. Make sure you've got them lined up so you don't cross-thread. Yeah, I'm the goofball that cross-threaded one of them on my last install. But it was my radio, so. Because they do not line up correctly. That's why we have to notch out one of those mounting screw holes. Be nice if you could see it all too. Oh yeah, this was much easier than my last one. Voila, they're in. Okay, now it's nice to route this. Everything else I've seen showed them routed around this area here, but it puts a lot of stress on these solder joints. And there's nothing in the cover that prevents you from going just straight down the middle, right through the hole. Sure we got that lined up right. Yeah, that hurt just thinking about it. I don't like to force connectors. But this one takes just a little bit of encouragement, and boom, it's seated. Now you just want to give it a little bit of stress relief so that those wires aren't taking the brunt of all the force of when the cover goes back on. And that's how easy that is. You can do this, folks. I'm an idiot, and I can do it. So, let's get the 4 screws back in. Really going to have to work on my lighting. I got an idea. How's that? Is that too much lighting? Oh, we'll just see how it does. I need to put a sign on that camera that says, "Look at me." As I've probably said 200 times before, I'm about to retire. Been in law enforcement 33 years. And I've literally done it all from detention officer to dispatcher, patrol deputy, street cop, very short time at a city police department, patrol supervisor, chief investigator, actually investigator, then chief investigator, undersheriff for 18 plus years. And don't get me wrong, it was my calling. I was good at it. I'm so ready to be retired. All right, there you have it. Now we've got it all set up, and now it's got a DB9 on the back, all ready to go for this cable that I've already built. I was lucky enough to find a printer cable, had every pin wired to it. It only takes 5 pins, 5 of the pins up, and I put a crimp-on DB9 on the end. It's going to plug right into this radio, which is going to plug right into AllStar. This is for the AllStar node I have at my place of employment for right now. And it's an AllStar node for a local repeater for the county emergency management, so that we can have, the hams can have access to a nice wide area of ham repeater that's located in the central part of our county. We use it for a lot of different things, especially Skywarn. So once I get this hooked up and just tested, I will give you all a look. And we'll take a look at my current one I've got running now. Stay tuned. As you can see here, this is the TYT TH-9000D with a 120 millimeter cooling fan strapped to the top of it. And I have the air blowing down into the cooling fins. You may wish to have the air be pulled through the cooling fins and then up out of the cooling fan. It's up to you. It's whatever's best for your application. Mine has a fan guard on the top so that little fingers don't get inside the fan and get all narfed up. But when I put this this cooling fan on there and ran on net several times, I do a couple of them a week at least on my AllStar node, it doesn't get hot at all. It just gets a little bit, I guess, lukewarm. I only run it on 10 watts, and the range is amazing around town because I live up on a hill and I've got a nice little J-pole made by KB9 VBR Antennas, which you can find at www.jpole-antenna.com. He makes an amazing J-pole. Works really good for my application. Now, as you see here, here is the TYT TH-9000D in the AllStar node at my place of work that acts as a link radio into our 70 centimeter repeater, the KD5 FMU 70 centimeter repeater in Preston, Oklahoma. It's a Skywarn repeater, but on our node 57788, which is what this radio is now controlling, there's also a DMR bridge to TGIF talk group 3196188. If you link up to that on TGIF, it bridges over to our AllStar node using DB switch, and you can talk over AllStar onto our 70 centimeter repeater. Now this is my AllStar node at home. As you can see, that's a TYT TH-9000D. I keep saying that, don't I? With a 120 millimeter cooling fan with one big tie wrap holding it on to the very top of the radio. I have the air blowing down, and I'm telling you, it rocks and it rolls. It's just amazing. It works, and the URIxB from DMK Engineering is the most solid sound fob I've used. It's the only one that I've used. Now, there is the ARA-1 made by TechnoByGeorge that's out there. It's a lot cheaper, and I'm being told it's a really great sound fob, and I'll be trying it out in the future too. Look for future videos about the ARA-1 sound fob by TechnoByGeorge. You can find him at TechnoByGeorge.com. That's TechnoByGeorge.com, where he sells the ARA-1 sound fob, the ARA-1 Plus sound fob, which is a little bit updated setup. Plus it comes with some connection cables. He also sells the Raspberry Pi power down board. It works on the Raspberry Pi 2 and 3 if you want to use your AllStar node in a mobile situation. This will help you power your Raspberry Pi down properly so that you don't corrupt anything. You get over there and check it out. TechnoByGeorge.com or DMK Engineering at DMKENG.com. Okay, folks, this draws us to an end of this video. I'd like to thank TYT Electronics for manufacturing the TH-9000D mobile radio. I'm not sponsored by them for this video. I just admire the radio. It's a good price, it's a good value, and it's decent quality, and it seems to be solid as a rock. You can go to their website at TYT888.com. I'd also like to thank Radio Dan Magro, W7RF. You can find his products at hamgadgets.com. He's the gentleman that manufactures the DB9 setup so that we can easily put that DB9 addition to the TH-9000D. I'd also like to thank DMK Engineering. You can find them at dmkeng.com for the manufacture of the URIxB sound fob. And please, if you get time, visit our sister YouTube channel, Okie Archaeology. You can find them at www.youtube.com/@OkieAdventure, or go to our website at okie-adventure.com. You can now go to the Ham Radio Crusader website at hamradiolife.org. And we'd appreciate you taking a look at that and liking and subscribing our videos, because you know what? I can do a lot of things. I can do a lot of things, but what I can't do is make this channel successful without each and every one of you. So please like and subscribe. Take a look at the videos. Give them a like. Hit that little notification bell. And, tell your aunts, uncles, kids, cousins, the kids next door, and the neighbors on the other side, the one that give you the casserole when you moved in. Yeah. And, the guy down at the grocery store who sacks your groceries. Yeah, tell him too. Please tell him about Ham Radio Crusader and ask him to like and subscribe. We're going to get through this journey together. I'm coming back to ham radio. I need your help. We're going to teach each other new things, and mostly you're going to see me learn new things about ham radio. I'm going to try to pass on as much information as I can as I'm taking this journey back to ham radio. I want to thank you all, and I hope the good signals are yours. This is KD5FMU 73. Have a great day.